What is going on, YouTube? It is Drew Lefty in the V10. Got some few cards I just want to show off today. So I can put one in a box to be sent off for grading whenever I'm not super lazy and do that. Which who knows when that will be. And then the other two so I can just put them in a box. Oh man, so yeah, some T207s again. This set is definitely an acquired taste, but there are some really, really important cards in this set, which I eventually will hopefully snag. First one I picked up, this is kind of a tough one, one of the tougher commons in my opinion. This is Johnny Clling for the Boston National League team, the Boston Braves. And he's one of the tougher commons that I have come across, which is like literally every single Boston Braves player in the T207 set. They're all short prints. I don't know any commons. Even a guy like Clling, who's in the recruit like subsection of the set, he's very short printed. So just for example, PSA's graded 29 of these, soon to be 30, because I actually enjoy these more in PSA slabs. SGC's also only graded 29. When you look at his T206 by comparison, again, apples and oranges here, but there's like 450 graded at each company for his T206. But very tough card. Won this raw, obviously, on eBay, and it's in very nice shape. I think this is probably a PSA 3. Which I'll be really happy for like, I don't know, 50 or 60 bucks shipped. Those, I think, you know, Cling PSA 3, probably $200 card. I don't know, it's pretty tough. So I was happy to get that. And then this was a pickup in an auction house. I got a really solid deal on this card. This guy was in the Baseball World News not too long ago. This is Edward Secott. I have heard people say Secott. I have heard Secott. It is Secott. It is not Secott. It's not Cockies, even though he played in Boston. Very cool card. He doesn't have many issues, but as I said, recently he was unbanned for life, even though he's been dead for 80 years. But he has very few cards. I have his T206, obviously. I got a few of those. I have his E95, and now I've got his T207. Again, this is a pretty tough card. Not that there are, you know, many T207s out there to begin with, but PSA's only graded 47 of these. SGC has graded 52. So he, again, is in the tougher recruit series, guys. This is, again, an acquired taste of a set here. Yeah, he kind of looks like Sloth from the Goonies there. But I love T207s, honestly. The more I get, the more I like them. The backs just have like a novel on them. Eddie Knuckles Secott, the knuckleball artist of the Boston Americans. I just love them. I really think they're cool. Yeah, I'm really happy to get this. I got this for basically what like a PSA 2 sold for. So I was very happy with that. I would love to get a PSA 2, so if anybody wants to trade me down, PSA 2 to 3 is kind of the range I really want for my T207 set. So that's pretty cool. We'll put him right there for now. We'll stack up the Cling. And then really the whole biggest pickup that I've had in a long, long time. Every now and then I'll get in these moods where I've got these players on my list, and with the right amount of courage, yeah, I'll just go grab one. So this is Smoky Joe Wood. And Smoky Joe Wood, very curious player. One of the coolest stories, really, in baseball history. Kind of one of those guys you don't hear a lot about unless you're deep into the pre-war knowledge. But Smoky Joe Wood, this is his only solo tobacco card of the era, which I thought was pretty cool. He's got a Hassan triple folders, but again, you know, somebody else on that in the middle panel, and they're oversized. And so this is really only solo tobacco issue. He's got, you know, a Cracker Jack. He's got all the black and white Collins McCarthy's and, you know, Boston Store, all the 57 different brands they printed on those in the 20s, which I'm not really into. So for him, this is it, really. I mean, he's got some really tough, really tough scarce issue Washington Times and etc. I really want the M116, the Sporting News, but this is a tough card, and these have really gone up. If you're not familiar with Joe Wood, I mean, just go to YouTube or you know, type in just plenty of stories on him. He was in Glory of My Times, or Glory of Their Times, sorry. Not like a super tough card. I mean, PSA's graded 50 of these. SGC has graded 41 copies, but most of them have really poor registration, in my opinion, which this one does not suffer from that fate, thank goodness. A really beautiful card. Joe Wood had one of the greatest pitching seasons of all time. Just to back up a little bit on his story, in 1908, he was playing on a girls' team, I believe out in Kansas City. And they would have a few guys on the team just to kind of keep things moving, I guess. They would supposedly wear wigs as a disguise. Joe Wood says he did not wear a wig. He refused to do that. But anyways, the Red Sox picked him up off the girls' team. No, I'm not making this up. And he went on to have a really nice, solid pitching career until they got hurt. They called him Smoky Joe, obviously, because he threw flames. He had that heat. And he had one of the greatest pitching seasons ever, in my opinion. I believe it was, gosh, what year was that? Was that 12, I think? Yeah, I think so. Maybe 12. I don't remember. One of the greatest pitching seasons ever. He went, gosh, what'd he go, like 34 and 5? 1912, yeah. 1912. 34 and 5, 1.91 ERA. He had 35 complete games, 10 shutouts, 258 strikeouts. Only pitched for 7 years because he got hurt. Like broke his thumb or something crazy. I don't know how that took him out. But he switched over to an everyday position player with the Cleveland Indians. He won 3 World Series. And, yeah, just a curious player. One of those guys who would have probably been a Hall of Famer if he had kept pitching, if he had not been hurt his finger there. This is a good card to show. If you ever see a T207 out in the wild, you can see they kind of got like a sheen on them. That's not a bunch of creases on the card. That is, there's almost like a shellac, like a lacquer over these that the T206 and T205s don't have. So see those out in the wild. No, they're not shellacked. They might be, but most of the time that they'll have that kind of look to them. But yeah, Joe Wood, shout out to Doug, Joe Wood Collector. I've learned a lot about Joe Wood watching his stuff, and I wanted to really nail down one of these before his stuff just really shot up in price, even crazier than it has. I was watching an auction. The auction I won the Secott in, and a SGC 1.5 went for like $1,200. I ran to a site and picked this up for $1,800, about 3.5. So that's all I got, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you learned a few things. Maybe not. Thanks for sticking around 8.5 minutes of your life. I appreciate it. Catch you next time. Peace out.